Hey, what's up everybody? Eternal Fire here, and today we're going to be going over the Prot Warrior at level 110, patch 7.0. So for starters, we're going to be going over the haste priorities, the stat priorities. We're going to be going over the talent build that I use. I use the Shield Slam build. We're going to be going over the artifact weapon and the artifact talents that you choose from and how to most effectively use your artifact power. And then we're going to be going over the rotation of the Prot Warrior build that I use. So with that said, let's talk about stat priorities. First and foremost, you want to get as much haste as you can right now because it just reduces the cooldown on your damage mitigation or your damage mitigation and your damage dealing abilities. And then you're going to want versatility, mastery, and then critical strike. So that's the order you want to do it. Haste, versatility, mastery, and critical strike. So now let's take a look at our artifact weapon. First, we have Neltharian's Fury, which is a damage mitigation. It critically blocks all attacks while it's channeling for 3 seconds and also deals damage. And then we have Strength of the Earth aspect. From there, you want to go to Shatter the Bones, Intolerance, Dragon Skin, Reflective Plating, over to Dragon Scales, because Dragon Scales blocking an attack has a chance to increase the total damage ignored by your next Ignore Pain by 40%. Now, in your Prot Warrior build, what you want to do is you want to be using shield block and having as much uptime up to 100% as much as you can. So you're going to get this Dragon Scales proc a lot, which just basically buffs your blocking, is going to buff your Ignore Pain. So you want to get that first. So then we're going to come down back to Intolerance. We're going to move up to Wall of Steel, Leaping Giants, and Scales of Earth. Critical blocks have a chance to cause an eruption from Scale of the Earth Warder, increasing your armor by 30% and dealing 67,000 physical damage to all enemies in front of you. So you get a nice damage reduction from that proc, and you also deal probably a good amount of damage. So that's the second one talent you want to aim for when you're doing placing your artifact power. You want to do Dragon Scales, Scales of Earth, and then you want to move over to Might of Raikul. So then from Wall of Steel, you're going to go to Raikul Shield Training, Will to Survive, Rumbling Voice, and then Might of Raikul will be your final one, which Shield Slam and Revenge generate 50% increased rage during Demoralizing Shout. So I think later on, once we get to the Might of the Raikul, Demoralizing Shout might play a bigger role in your rotation, but for now it just simply reduces the damage targets due to you by 20% for 8 seconds. So now we're going to go to the talent build, and I want to talk about some of the things here. Shockwave is a frontal cone 4-second stun. It's reduced by 20 seconds if you strike at least 3 targets, so try and make sure you're hitting 3 targets at least when you use it. And then Warbringer, if you're doing a single target boss and you're trying to just deal more damage, you're going to use Warbringer because it makes your intercept deal more damage. Otherwise, if you're not looking to do more damage on like a single target boss, I would go with Shockwave. And then we have Inspiring Presence. It's a passive heal to your party or raid members. You inspire your allies within 60 yards, causing them to be healed for 3% of all damage they deal. So it's a nice little heal that you can have. And then you go to Ultimatum, and this is where the Shield Slam build starts. It's a passive ability. Your Shield Slam critical strikes cause your next Focus Rage to cost no rage. So when you crit with your Shield Slam, it makes Focus Rage free. And what Focus Rage does is it focuses your rage on your next Shield Slam, increasing its damage by 50%, stacking up to 3 times, and it's unaffected by the global cooldown. So this is an ability you're going to be using all the time, and you're going to be alternating it with Ignore Pain, but we'll get to that. So just keep that in mind. Ultimatum, when Shield Slam crits, you get a free Focused Rage. So then you have Crackling Thunder. It increases the radius of Thunderclap by 100%, just making it easier to grab ads. And this is pretty much going to be your best talent to take in this tier in all situations. Bounding Stride just gives you a little bit more mobility. That's something I would definitely use while questing. Warlord's Challenge is you'll be using that very rarely. And then we have Indomitable. It's a passive, increases your maximum health by 25%, which is always nice, and the maximum effect of Ignore Pain by 25% across the board. Now, I say across the board because Never Surrender. Ignore Pain will ignore up to 75% more damage based on your missing health. So if you're going to be doing an encounter or a certain difficulty where you know you're going to be dipping, your health is going to be dipping to 50% or lower constantly, you're going to probably want to take Never Surrender because that's going to give you more bang for your buck using Ignore Pain. So then we're going to drop down to the next tier and we have Vengeance. Ignore Pain reduces the rage cost of your next Focus Rage by 50%, and Focus Rage reduces the rage cost of your next Ignore Pain by 50%, hence why you're going to be alternating between Focus Rage and Ignore Pain. And then lastly, Heavy Repercussions. Shield Slam extends the duration of Shield Block by 1.5 seconds, and Shield Block increases the damage of Shield Slam by an additional 30%. And one thing to keep in mind is that Shield Block now, passively, when you have it active and you use your Shield Slam, it already increases the Shield Slam damage by 30% while active. So that just stacks on another 30%, making it 60%. So with the Shield Slam build, what you're going to be doing is using Shield Block and Focus Rage together to get really big Shield Slam hits and hopefully crits. And I'm going to show you later in the video what that damage looks like, but what you want to do is you want to try and keep Shield Block up as much as possible. It only costs 10 rage. It's really inexpensive rage-wise, and you're just going to use that as much as you can. And then you're going to use Ignore Pain as much as you need to or as much as you can. It costs 20 to 60 rage, except for when you take the Vengeance talent and you're using the rotation properly, it's only going to cost you 10 to 30 rage. So you want Ignore Pain to use it as much as you need it or as much as you can, and you want to have Shield Block up all the time. Those are your two rage spenders, and those are your two active mitigation abilities. And then you're going to use Devastate as a filler when Shield Slam and Revenge are down. You're going to use Devastate as a filler, and it has a 30% chance to reset the remaining cooldown on Shield Slam. And then Shield Slam and Revenge are your two rage generating abilities. So you have your active mitigation, which is your rage spenders, and your rage generators are Shield Slam and Revenge. Shield Slam generates 15 rage and does the bulk of your damage, and then Revenge is a AoE ability that generates 5 rage, and it can be the cooldown can be reset by successfully dodging or parrying an attack once every 3 seconds. So what I do for this rotation is you're going to target whoever you want to die, and then you're going to use Intercept, which is also a rage generator. It generates 20 rage, and you're going to use Intercept, Battle Cry, and you can pop Shield Block at the same time to get a stronger Shield Slam. So Battle Cry, Shield Block, Shield Slam, which will proc Ultimatum, giving you a free Focus Rage. So what that's going to look like is Charge, Battle Cry, Shield Block, Shield Slam, free Focus Rage, and then you're going to pop that, and now you'll see over here that Ignore Pain only costs 20 to 30 rage, and what we have is 25 rage, so we're going to go ahead and pop that, and we're going to use Shield Slam again. Then what you're going to do is you're going to use your Shield Block, and you're going to use your Focus Rage, which only costs 15 rage now, okay? So you're going to use that. We got another crit, that's great. Now our Ignore Pain once again only costs 10 to 30 rage. So if you use this rotation properly, basically what it means is you're going to get more damage from Shield Slam out because you have cheaper Focus Rage that you can use more often, and you're going to be getting more Ignore Pain time up, and you're going to be getting a higher amount of Ignore Pain, a stronger Ignore Pain for much less rage. So that's the idea of how you want to do it. So it's kind of a lot to take in, but if you can just focus on keeping Shield Block up all the time, alternating between Focus Rage and Ignore Pain to get the maximum effect of your Vengeance talent, and then taking advantage of your Ultimatum procs, you're going to get a lot of Ignore Pain, you're going to get a lot of damage put out, and it's quite a fun spec. It has a good synergy to it when you use it properly. And in some circumstances, you're going to want to be using more Shield, Ignore Pains, and you might get out of that rotation, but that's okay. Get back on track as soon as you can because the damage output is quite nice. So let's talk about Neltharion's Fury real quick. Basically what I think this ability is going to be the best for is if you're in a dungeon or a raid tanking a boss and you start, taking a ton of damage from physical attacks, or they get like a soften rage or something, you can just pop your Neltharion's Fury and, get those critical blocks in to mitigate as much damage as possible. Realistically, I think that's what it's probably most important for. But pretty much what I find I do is what I just did there. I use Battle Cry and then Neltharion's Fury to melt a big pack of mobs that, we're in the mood to die. So I think, realistically, if you have somebody in rage or get like some furious buff where they're swinging really fast for, a short amount of time, you can pop that Neltharion's Fury to critically block things. But otherwise, I pretty much find I just use it on trash and trash and, you know, if I'm going to go do a world quest, I'll pick up as many mobs as I can and just burn them all down real quick. So that is Neltharion's Fury, the Prot Warrior artifact ability you can use. Okay, so now what I want to do is just show you guys some of the damage potential that the Shield Slam build can give your Prot Warrior, as well as keeping yourself alive quite easily. So we're going to charge in, we're going to use our Battle Cry, Shield Block, Shield Slam, and then that's where we get our Focus Rage and our Ignore Pain rotation starting off there. So this is how it's going to look, and I'll show you, I have a recount up so you can see how much damage I do. So as you can see, you get a lot of use out of Focus Rage, and we ended that fight. He had 4.2 million health, and we had 219,000 damage done at eye level 825. So that's a good bit of burst damage for a tank spec. And as you saw, I didn't hardly take any damage at all. I had a lot of Focus Rage procs from Ultimatum, and it was easy to alternate between Focus Rage and Ignore Pain. So I just wanted to give you an example of what that looks like. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.